This afternoon, the Federal Executive Council, chaired by His Excellency the Vice President, approved the National Sports Industry Policy, NSIP, 2022 to 2026. The policy has as its core the building of a business model into our sports development. Recall that over a year ago, the President in Council, with other FEC members, approved the reclassification of sports as business. So sports is business in addition to recreation. And part of the plan is to bring a policy to be able to tie this in for implementation. Today, that policy, 2022 to 2026, was presented to Council, and the Federal Executive Council has approved the National Sports Industry Policy 2022 to 2026. This approval brings to a final closure the idea that, or the principle of sports as business, which opens the door to private investment driven by incentives and also investment from the private sector. The approval obtained today will also look at sports code of governance regulations as it relates to our sporting federations to create a sports governance structure as we have in other sectors that will be attractive to the private sector. And this code of governance will attract obligations like accountability, which are critical to investor confidence and also sector clarity. The approval also covers incentives for private investors in sports development. Approved were the proposed tax and fiscal incentives needed to drive sports as business and also to attract the much needed investment from the private sector. The approval also covers the ability of the sports ministry to drive the application of a medley of funding and financing approaches to develop our infrastructure and to develop our sports. From ROT, which is renovate, operate, and transfer, to BOT, build, operate, and transfer, to the Integrated National Financing Framework, INFF, and also the Nigeria Integrated Infrastructure Master Plan. All of these have been approved as approaches we can employ to boost sports as business. Most importantly, the triggers of sports as business, which is infrastructural development, investment from public and private sector, and also incentives that were presented to Council were all approved. And with this development, we believe that a new dawn has come for sports development in our country. In this policy, there's something for the athletes. In this policy, there's something for the government. In this policy, there's something for the mass of sports-loving Nigerians. And in this policy, there's definitely something for our youth population because it has a fully developed sports value chain into which most of our youth can plug in and also investors can plug in. Thank you very much.